with Coin Cerberus, another cryptocurrency journey, altcoin news, and crypto analysis. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. And question being that of what makes the price of Bitcoin go up and down, and to rise and fall, basically. And I just kind of wanted to answer that question today, and I've made a little notes here that kind of give me an idea of whereabouts I am. And you can see from my notes here, 1 second now, that there are certain amount of factors that play into the rise and fall of Bitcoin. If we just take a brief overlook at the whole period of the whole lifespan of Bitcoin, you can see when it started, when it came out, and all the ways when it first peaked to its first $1,000 in December of 2013. The 4th of December 2013, it hit a peak of $1,000 at that time, and that's a long time. That's 5 years ago, and think of it this way now: if you had invested at the $1,000 mark at that time, this is a long wait to roughly January. Yeah, I think it was just around after Christmas, February of 2017 last year is when it broke $1,000 again. So you had to wait 4 years for anything major to happen. But a couple of different factors have occurred in that period of time, which have seen it rise from $400 up to $600, down to $200, back up to $400, $500, $600, $700. So you can see that there was a rise and fall. And then obviously you know about the December peak and the February crash, down to $4,000 and back up to $10,000 where it remains today. And you can see that it had a little bit of a zigzag. Well, it wasn't that much, so there wasn't that much activity, but it still was a lot at that time. But compared to what's going on now, it's just insane. The kind of insane kind of zigzags that are occurring right now, and it's dramatic drops. Like Bitcoin could lose $2,000 or in a day. It's insane. And some of the reasons that come into play for Bitcoin's rise and fall on a monthly basis. Remember, like a month in cryptocurrency world is like a year. Anyway, it's just like, it's insane how quickly everything changes. But a huge factor in, let's say if we just take example as the December Christmas rush in July, all the ways up to December, let's say when it kind of went to nearly $20,000, we'll just say around there, it went to $18,000. A huge factor was the introduction of new money. There's no way around that. Mainstream adoption is a massive reason why the price of Bitcoin went up. And I'm going to put up my hand and say that I'm one of those people that have invested just before Christmas as well. I kind of just got into it as well. I had heard about Bitcoin and I kind of followed it for a while, just reading different blogs and following different YouTubers about Bitcoin. And I'm no means an expert or anything like that with Bitcoin. This is just my journey blog. That's all I said I would do, set up if I could make some money, or if I could see where my Bitcoin journey would take me. So if I look at these videos in 5 years time, was it a good idea to invest in cryptocurrency or was it not? Or am I still in the same boat? So it's just kind of funny to to vlog about that. But mainstream adoption is huge, and so basically a lot more access to cryptocurrencies became available. So Coinbase has been around a while, but the knowledge of knowing that Coinbase is there is huge as well. Like, I didn't find Coinbase until like August when I first invested in Bitcoin, August in 2017 was the first time I invested in Bitcoin. It was the first cryptocurrency I purchased, and I just bought it on Coinbase. And then there was Ethereum, Litecoin, and so on and so forth. Then I got introduced to all the altcoins as the more research I did over time. But mainstream adoption, because like you can speculate that traders cause the ups and downs a lot, which is true, and that's in my notes as well. Traders, crypto whales, pump and dump schemes, they do play a huge factor, but they can only do so much with the price uh, that it's there. Has to introduce enough money to get it to kind of move drastically up and down like it has now. Um, a lot of people just had a lot more money at Christmas time last year as well. So that December rush that we saw, that huge spike that happened in December, just a lot more people had more money to spend on. Specifically at Christmas time, when there was a huge volume of people buying and selling, just around January, a lot of these crypto exchanges halted new accounts because their own systems were becoming clogged up and they couldn't actually match the transactions that were occurring at that time. So it's huge to see that how big of a part access or lack of access to cryptocurrencies or to Bitcoin can play havoc with the spikes that occur. So if no new money is coming in through any of these exchanges, a lot of the time the people who have money will just sell in the fear that nothing is going to happen and maybe put it into something else. I noticed that when Bitcoin was kind of faltering after Christmas, a lot of people took out their money because it was funny. In January, Ethereum had a huge run. Ethereum kind of climbed as everything else was coming down, and it's funny. All the altcoins are kind of tethered to Bitcoin except Ethereum. Ethereum seems to, it's like you either have, people tend to only put money into Bitcoin or or they take it and sell it and buy Ethereum with it. It's kind of like they kind of trade off each other. People will see that Ethereum is growing and they'll remove their coins from Bitcoin into Ethereum and the other way around. So they'll kind of play within the markets with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Um, Also, I mentioned that obviously certain governments can come into play. We saw that China banned cryptocurrencies, but a lot of Chinese people are still purchasing Bitcoin through through the use of VPNs, etc., and through accounts that are created in other countries. Um, Regulation is another reason. So certain countries might ban the use of cryptocurrencies, or you have like tax laws that came in America declaring that each transaction you do within Bitcoin is now a capital gains tax. So that could be a reason why it has fluctuated or fluctuated or grown. That could be, so more people were putting in all their money into just one and holding it into Bitcoin, or they're removing it all just to pay their taxes now because it's coming up after April is when tax season is probably over in America. Another huge reason, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons, is the media and how the media's attention to FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, can come into play. So if the media is spreading wildfire news about Bitcoin and saying negative stuff, certain people might, like I'm just using an example now. A couple of days ago, I saw a story about Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniacki, one of the founders of Apple, and the big headline was Steve Wozniak scammed out of 70K of Bitcoin. But if you actually read into it, he actually sold his Bitcoin before it became that he sold it at £700 or dollars, and he only tried it as an experiment. He wasn't really an investor in Bitcoin or anything like that. He just wanted to see how it worked, and he was just curious. But when he went to sell it, he sold it to someone, and they scammed him out of the money. But he didn't. His Bitcoin would be worth 70k now today, but when he sold it, it was much less. And it's just showing you how the manipulation of the words and the clickbait titles within the media have a huge part to play in the the swinging of the market, basically the up and downs, the crocodile teeth, whatever you call them. And we'll just kind of look into 3 months just to kind of get in a little bit closer, and you can see that how it goes up and down there. It's gone insane how much Bitcoin has gone up and down. But we are seeing a really steady ship coming back to play. We're seeing because when we had the 6th of February, yeah, 5th and 6th of February were just dire months, and it just felt like Bitcoin was falling off a shelf. And I I didn't take anything out. I still just hodled, sorry, and kept my faith in the cryptocurrency. But it was hard to watch your all your money just kind of just waddle down the drain at the time. But it seems to pulled itself back out, and then it pulled a lot of my altcoins out as well with it. So the media is just huge. Is one of the biggest factors, I think. So let's say if like a big story broke tomorrow about maybe a hack in a major exchange or anything like that, that would cause huge uproar, and you'd see massive people trying to pull their money back out of crypto at that time. Other things as well you have to think of is cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. It's a speculative currency, and so big traders are going to trade it daily with vast amounts of money, and that's always going to cause it to have peaks and valleys within the cryptocurrency itself. Obviously, there's other kind of groups of traders which are called whales, and they're involved in pump and dump schemes. So they might come together, buy a huge amount of Bitcoin, and then sell it and then keep repeating the process over and over again. And obviously, it's very difficult to see that coming. But yeah, you just have to hope that a lot of people will be in it for the long time, and these cryptocurrency whales and pump and dump schemes will be kind of blinded out of the market by adoption from the mainstream. Basically, that's the only way I could see Bitcoin not being affected by pump and dumps and crypto traders and whales. Another huge thing that came into play that I think is huge as well is the ability to put money in, but also to take it back out as well. It seems to be not so easy to take it back out. Like if you're part of any of these coin exchanges, you can put money in, but it's going to take you like 2 or 3 days to get your money back out. And to a lot of people, that's a lot of fear, and a lot of people won't do that. So a lot of mainstream won't get involved in cryptocurrency unless they can do it instantaneously. And another thing I saw as well is a lot of these debit cards, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency debit cards, have all been kind of wiped off the market recently. Sites like 10x, etc., have all, because the payment solutions they were using before have basically declined the use of cryptocurrencies with credit cards. So a lot of people who were actually using Bitcoin to purchase things can't do that right now. So there was a lot of people using there's WireX, there was CryptoPay, Zapo. There was all these kind of cards, crypto cards, where you could buy Bitcoin or anything like that, watch it go up, but still go to the coffee shop and buy whatever you wanted in a store or anything like that with your cryptocurrency, and it would flip it into the local currency of that country, which is the ultimate idea of what cryptocurrency should be like, but the technology isn't there yet, or if the technology is there, it's just not being adapted to by other mainstream players in the, let's say, like the credit card worlds, MasterCard and Visa. They don't want to play ball with the cryptocurrency world because cryptocurrency world wants to eliminate fees, and the high fees, how these companies make huge amounts of money. And until the crypto world can find a solution for that, you're going to see these peaks and valleys in the price of Bitcoin. Can it go back up again? I think it will, but I think for now, I think 10, 11, 12 mark for Bitcoin is a fair justification of what Bitcoin is worth at the minute. And I like when the market is a bit steady. It gives me more confidence that Bitcoin can stay steady for a little bit longer, and it gives me the opportunity to continue to invest at a rate that I want to invest in, and that's just my opinion. Also, there's one other thing that I notice as well. New altcoins come out every day, and a lot of altcoins can only be purchased with either Ethereum or Bitcoin. And especially with these ICOs as well, a lot of the ICOs will only accept Bitcoin or Ethereum. And so if someone's pulling a large amount of Bitcoin out of their portfolio into these altcoins, that can cause peaks and valleys within the crypto world as well. So they're just some of my reasons for the rise and fall, or not really the rise and fall, but the reason why the price of Bitcoin goes up and down on a regular basis. But it's nice to see that Bitcoin is above the $10,000 mark, and I think it continues to shine, and it continues to be a good store of wealth, which is my original idea with Bitcoin. It's just better than having a bank. It's better to watch my little bit of cash that I have in Bitcoin increase on a daily basis, and that's pretty cool. So this is Dan with Coin Cerberus. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up, guys, and share the video, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.